Hi, Luke Lango here, America's #1 stock picker. And this is Investor Place Quick Picks, where we communicate to you some of the market's best investment ideas in just 10 minutes.
America's #1 stock picker, Luke Lango's Investor Place Quick Picks.
Today, we're going to talk about arguably the most exciting company in the market, which has an enormous 25x upside potential over the next decade. The name? Momentus, ticker SRAC. Now make no mistake, buying Momentus stock today may be the best thing you ever do in the markets. That's because Momentus is one of the most exciting, innovative, and explosive companies in the world today, building a proprietary technology platform which will be the basis for how satellites physically move in the multi-trillion-dollar space economy. The company has mind-boggling upside potential, yet very little of that potential is priced into Momentus stock today. Indeed, I think Momentus stock has more than 25x upside potential from here. How do we get there? Let's take a deeper look. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally ready to conquer the final frontier. I'm talking, of course, about space. Arguably, one of the biggest moments in human history was when, on July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to step foot on the moon. It was a day the Earth stood still. But since then, public and financial interest in space has died down as human progress in conquering and commercializing the final frontier has been ultimately limited by technological shortcomings. Until now. In 2020, multiple technological breakthroughs have converged to breathe life back into the space sector, headlined by companies like SpaceX and Virgin Galactic, conducting multiple successful test flights and inching ever closer towards making space tourism and travel a reality. This is just the beginning. Over the next 10 to 20 years, continued rapid technological advancements will make flying to and from space as common and easy as flying between cities. This, in turn, will give birth to a brand new space economy, spanning everything from space travel and tourism, to space mining, to space colonization, to space source renewable energy generation, so on and so forth. According to Adam Jonas, the managing director of equity research at JP Morgan, and the man who presciently called the electric vehicle revolution back in 2011, the booming space economy will grow by almost 400% to $1.7 trillion by 2040. Needless to say, then, the emergence of the multi-trillion-dollar space economy represents one of the most exciting and compelling investment opportunities over the next decade. The best way to play this megatrend? By buying Momentus stock. I like to think of Momentus as a space mobility company and believe that its proprietary and breakthrough technology platform will be the technological foundation of how we move objects in space over the next several decades, implying, of course, big upside potential for Momentus stock. Here's the story. You've probably heard of Elon Musk's SpaceX before. Alongside Virgin Galactic, SpaceX is at the epicenter of the space economy today, building big rockets which they plan to use to launch people and satellites into space over the next several years. The company is essentially creating the building blocks of the space economy. After all, you cannot commercialize space unless you first put things in space. SpaceX is building the technology to do just that. But they aren't doing so alone. Space infrastructure company Momentus is significantly helping them in this effort. Momentus builds what are called transfer vehicles. These transfer vehicles are a mission-critical component of SpaceX rockets. To understand why, we have to first understand the space launch process. which in its simplest form is as follows. SpaceX builds a huge rocket. Private companies bid to put their satellites on that rocket. The rocket launches into space and do a certain general orbital, like the low Earth orbit or geostationary orbit. A transfer vehicle then detaches from the general rocket and helps guide each individual satellite into its specific end orbital. In other words, the rockets that SpaceX is building help satellites get from Earth to space, while the transfer vehicles that Momentus is building help satellites get from space to their specific orbital or their final destination. Momentus technology helps complete the satellite space journey. Perhaps more important, SpaceX, the leading space rocket company in the world, didn't choose Momentus for no good reason. No, they partnered with Momentus and are still partnered with Momentus because this is the leading space infrastructure company in the world. Leading space rocket company, leading space infrastructure company. Makes sense. Now, why is that? Well, Momentus's transfer vehicles are built on the back of a patented and proprietary water plasma propulsion technology platform that is the cheapest and most efficient mechanism for maneuvering in space. This innovative propulsion platform is highly scalable. Engine efficiency increases with size. It's throttleable. You can vary thrust to optimize trip time. It's super safe, right? Because it's based on water, which is literally as low risk as you can get. And it's very, very cost effective. It's built on a simple design that uses low cost, off-the-shelf components. The result? Well, most importantly, Momentus's transfer vehicles are substantially cheaper than anything on the market today. They can help send small satellites into their final orbit at just $15,000 per kilogram versus over $50,000 per kilogram for other propulsion systems. That's a big deal. Momentus's breakthrough technology is essentially breaking the cost barrier of space exploration, and in so doing, is creating an economically viable pathway for humans to colonize space. That, of course, implies big things ahead for Momentus stock. As the market-leading space infrastructure company in the world, Momentus is much, much more than just SpaceX's partner. It's a company that could very realistically emerge as a foundational technology platform for the entire space economy. The picks and shovels of space exploration, if you will. Its breakthrough water propulsion platform could very realistically be the technology platform that powers movement for all objects in space. From that perspective, the long-term upside potential in Momentus stock is enormous. Indeed, management is targeting $4 billion in revenues and $2.5 billion in EBITDA by 2027. But the company won't be done growing by 2027. No, far from it. The space economy will actually just be getting started by then. That's why my modeling suggests that Momentus could net about $8 billion in revenues and $4 billion in net profits by 2030. Throw a simple 20x multiple on that, and you get a potential future valuation of $80 billion. The current market cap, just $3 billion. Thus, this is a company with more than 25x upside potential over the next decade, and obviously with that much upside potential, Momentus stock deserves to be on your buy radar today. Well, that's all we have for this edition of Investor Place Quick Picks. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash the like button, follow me on Twitter, or if you like to read, come over and visit us at investorplace.com, where we have some of the market's best analysis. Until next time, cheers and happy investing to all.